All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another special episode. Our New York Red Bulls beat the LA Galaxy 7-0. Great memories of that scoreline. And they also won in the US Open Cup. We're watching in the last episode. They finished the game 4-1, so 11 goals in two games. Man, are we riding this two wins very highly. We're super excited. I'm going to introduce my great friends, Steve Pontecorvo, Jorge Martinez from The Exchange. What's going on, guys?
What's good?
Ciao, ciao. Ciao tutti. Ciao tutti. How we doing, Red Bulls fans? Excuse me. I guess it was Noche Latina night, so I really should say, hola, ¿cómo estás?
Buenas
But
noches.
we're feeling good, man. I mean, fucking 7-0. I think all Red Bulls fans love seeing that score line. We chanted, we want seven, and the fans got seven.
Um, Crazy, yo. I went there to the press to media day with Sandra, and I'm like, come on, dog. You saw what happened with DC United. He was like, why you gotta remind me? Thanks for reminding me of DC United. And then he came back, he told his boys, he was like, yo, they're making fun of me in there. And look what happened. They showed up for him. All I had to do was go talk a little shit. And then he said, you know what, guys, do what you do. Release the Bulls. Score seven.
Inspiration by Jorge. Yeah, man. Bulls on Parade were played a lot of times in that game. I kind of got tired of it at the end, but that's what I love it, man. The team did not stop. Everyone, absolutely every player on that field, uh, for the Red Bulls, I think they perform highly, man. And you know what? We criticized them last week, and they shut our mouths this week. Emil Forsberg and Choupo-Moting came out to play. I think Steve is the only one that defended Emil on the last episode. But how good were they on that night, man, against the Galaxy?
Oh, they were brilliant, brilliant. Those were the DP strikers we signed. Those guys right there, banging in the goals. You see that? I mean, Chupo right away, Emil right after. I mean, it they made it look pretty easy too. So they were up 3-0 quickly, and honestly, the rest of the game felt pretty comfortable. So I was stoked on that. They came out to play, and even Email said he wanted more. He was going for the hat trick, but it's fine. I'd say take him off. He could have been taken off maybe a little bit earlier. Um, we got a lot of games coming up, but it's so good to see those guys finally break through there and let the floodgates open too.
Chris, you brought up something before we started about this LA team that they just played. A very realistic thought, I'd like to say, if you want to hit them with it.
No, you can go ahead. You can repeat what I said.
So, Chris, before we started, said we played an LA Galaxy team that had nobody, had no stars. There were players that didn't play. Um, so yeah, it's a big win, but you know, you're playing the worst team with nothing. So they're already the worst team, and then they don't even have the pieces to be good. So they're absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
you
mean,
have to score seven on a team like that, right?
Well, I mean, they still got Royce in the lineup. They still got Ramirez in the lineup. That's some quality. It's more quality than the New England Revolution, really, on paper. You wouldn't think this LA team would be this bad. It's been a shock. This has been one of the most shocking storylines that LA Galaxy's been this far down the table and don't have a win.
12 games, no wins. I mean, we're not playing against the best team. And yeah, if you want to really consider it, their main two stars, at least the two players that helped them win MLS Cup, weren't in the field. And those two guys were Joseph Painsil and Gabriel Peck, who are a threat on the wing. And then if you really want to count compared to last year, Joveljic wasn't there either. So this is a complete different team. A team that, did you guys see at the end where Greg Vanny was, instead of taking them to the locker room, he was scolding them or he was talking to them outside at the in the on the field while the fans and everybody else was celebrating. You want to touch on that, Steve? I don't know because I'm like,
Yeah. Well, didn't Greg Vanny just get released? I think he just got
wait,
fired.
that's news to me right now.
Wait, really?
I was
I don't know. You
foaming.
have to double check me on that, but I don't know. I thought something. Maybe I read something a little premature. Maybe it was a rumor, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's never a good scene to see. I mean, that's a rock bottom for them, probably. I mean,
I mean,
he's
they're
pulling
going through a
out.
struggle.
Wait,
Yeah,
no, come on, no way.
Yeah, this is breaking
I
news I
I
just
thought I
found out
saw
about.
something that they planned to fire them. I don't know if he was actually fired. I think I might have read the headline wrong. But
Oh, no,
still,
no, no way, because they would have been all over like their page.
yeah. I must have read something on
Come
that.
on, Steve, with this rumor stuff.
Rumor
You have everybody
coaster.
in
I
a
wouldn't
frenzy for a second.
I wouldn't be surprised if it keeps going this way that he does get let go of his job. I mean, this is just unacceptable, regardless of missing those couple of players there. They should have a couple of wins under their belt. They're not this bad. They're not New England Revolution bad. We were just talking about their games, how they only let a one opponent, had a shot on net, only one shot in the last game. So it seems like they just been super down their luck, and it was a bad first half from them, and then it just snowballed for LA, and it got worse and worse. Even the scuffle during the game wasn't good for them. I think that just gave us even more fuel too. So I don't know. I think Vanny's got a right to roast him. I'm sure he's tried everything else at this point.
So I think you can't get rid of him because he win the final. He was their coach last year.
Yep.
So like that has to account for something, right? Right? So
Yeah.
like next year you get Ricky Pooge back, you make a couple moves, and then you're back to competing again. You lost probably your best player. Um, you could say that some of these guys are clocked out. You didn't have your best talent this week, but a loss like this is pretty much like, and especially at this point in the season, it's like, okay, like this is going to be a long fucking season. That's probably what the coach told him out on that field. Like, guys, this is bad, and we still have a lot more to go. So, like, you just have to put some respect on your own self. Fuck winning. Just like make it respectable for yourself. Because like you guys are professionals, like you guys just lost 7-0.
Yeah, they should not be losing 7-0 to this Red Bull team.
Right, a Rebel team that was struggling 2 weeks ago, penetrating defense and scoring goals. Um, but getting back on what the Rebels did right, I think we called out email on speeding up the play. Man, he looked fast, man. He looked vintage Emil Forsberg, vintage Leipzig Forsberg, and I'd love to see more of that. That's my little worry now. Okay, we got the momentum going. We got him making quick plays. I do hope that stays, that he maintains this Sander, because when he's clicking, it just makes the job everybody easy. One thing that he mentioned after the game, we're just having fun. We're playing those 1-2 touches. Moving the ball around quickly, looking out for each other, and I think that's what the Rebels need, especially when we're playing transition. So I think they did that right. I think also Chupo was finally getting service either near the box or inside the box.
Mm-hmm.
Something we've been crying to do, and credit to either the coaching staff but also the players taking the risks of sending those balls in areas where they can actually perform the way we expect them to. Do you guys see it that way too? What did you guys see from these two studs?
I think it's great. I mean, obviously we know that the scoring worked because they scored 7. But there's still a part of me there's 2 parts in the game that aren't being spoken about that are still being hidden because of the 7 goals. Carlos Coronel being probably the best keeper in the MLS, maybe, or second best keeper in the MLS is one, and not getting a contract. I'll say it every week. And 2, they got to get their defensive guys in the back sorted out.
I agree. I did see a couple of transitional moments where there were a lot of crosses in our box, man, and they weren't as good, LA Galaxy, but yeah, it was a little bit worried. I'm glad you
Yeah,
brought that up.
yeah. I think listen, they know we can score. They're waiting for the second coming of Morgan. We all know that from the middle of the field up, there's no issue. When it starts to go from a little bit in the middle to start going back, we have an issue, except for Noah. But there are issues, a lot of issues back there. And you could even see you saw it in a 7-0 win that there's some little things.
when we're up 2-0, they were close to scoring. A bad team that struggles scoring and winning games was coming at us in very difficult moments, and we look like we're having a difficult time handling that. Now, I agree. Perhaps in our wings we push them up too high. We leave a lot of space. So I always saw that on Omar Valencia's side, there were moments where we were a little bit open. But that's something that's the risk that Sandro likes to take. Again, if we're talking about Omar Valencia, fifth assist in the season, um, in 10 games, I think that's a lot of productivity from this guy who wasn't even supposed to be the number one. You know what I'm saying? So yes, there's some bad things, but there are also some good things from this game. I don't know, Steve.
Oh
Help me
yeah.
out here. Yeah, they're the roller coaster.
Yeah, lots of positives. I'm not going down. There's no dip right here. We're going straight up, up the. This is like when you're going on Kingda Ka and you're just looking up, and now we're going back up. All right, is it gonna dip real quick? It might, but we'll see. There's a lot to love in this game. Omar, with that assist again, continuing his good form. But we were just clinical. Like we were just begging to be clinical in front of net, and then we're finally seeing it. Chupo scoring, Emil scoring, even Dennis Yangar scoring in back-to-back games, and one in the Open Cup now again here. Cam Harper returning, getting a goal there. But I will give us a little bit of slack because it was some sloppy play by the who was their goalkeeper, McCarthy.
Hmm.
He had a really bad game.
Oh,
Really
come
bad.
on, bro. Poor
That
guy. Dude,
that
the
I mean,
worst
he was
thing,
trying to distribute the ball. It was not working. And then he was like late to diving on Emil's free kick, which just made it look that much worse.
dude, they and then the own goal at the end was like,
Oh, you
come
know what's
on.
funny in our
Cherry
angle?
on the
I didn't
top.
know if Julian Hall like got a foot to that and flicked it back, but then on replay, I was like, oh no, he tried to pass that back to the goalie, and it was total miscommunication, and that was the seventh goal. It was just, they were at sixes and sevens back there, and even in the commentary at 5-0 or at 4-0, we're running down the wing. They only got three guys running back. And we got Victor Bogarts running up. So I have no idea what was going on with LA's formation at the end there. I mean, Yoshida was like running on fumes. It was strange. So I guess I'll be like, it's 7 goals, but I'm not going to get too crazy about it. I'm not going to get over the top because it, comes to against a winless LA team that seemed all over the place. A big mess over there.
Yeah, yeah. No, those are some great points too, though. You mentioned Cam Harper being back and scoring a goal. I think that's
Yeah,
huge. I think that's
Killer
huge.
Cam. Yeah.
Dennis Gengar too. I mean, immediate impact. Connecting with Cam, and then also, like you mentioned, connecting with Victor Bogacs. It gives you an idea that all right, like they came out hungry. They came out hungry to play this game. They're coming out hungry to win such games. But I think we also have to keep in mind we're just getting guys back. Like Daniel Edelman makes his first start after being out what 2-3 weeks
Yeah.
or 2-3 games. Um, Jorge, you question the midfield down. Um,
I
anything that comes to your mind about that?
yeah, so I mean, listen, Gengar was on the end of one that he got, which was a home run. But at that point, at the level, the game is open.
Mm,
So they aren't playing tight. At that point, what they were down already 4-0. So
mm-hmm.
like, yeah, we could say perfect. Great for his confidence, great play, but like if it wasn't, what would be happening? You know what I mean? If it was a tighter game, is this group of guys going to be scoring and doing what they have to do? They haven't had that. They've had issues against bad teams, and they had little shades that they were looking like they wanted to maybe fuck things up, um, but they didn't get to it. And again, it was 7-0. And when it gets to 4-0, 5-0, the game's already,
Mm,
guys don't care no more. It's like, all right, let's just get to 90 minutes. Let's get this over with.
Yeah.
yeah,
Fortunately, you
yeah.
got to keep
we,
playing.
that's what we were saying. We were just noting that we've been struggling against certain teams and in these tight games where we've been lucky to see one goal by the Red Bull and hoping for a draw. So I want to see that again. I want to get in, a tight game and see what these players can do in a higher pressure situation. Yeah, like you said, the game was kind of, lost a little bit in that end of that second half where, we got some gimme goals at the end there, we can call it. But as long as it fills the guys with confidence, we're going to need everybody. We're in the May of madness right now. We got games coming fast and thick. We got another one coming tomorrow. So enjoy this one right now. That's all I'm trying to do. It's weird, these wins. You win 1-0 against Montreal. You expect a little bit more. But then you come versus LA and you win 7-0, which we weren't expecting at all. So a win's a win, whether it be 7 or 1. So I'll take it.
You know
That's
what?
great.
I'll tell you something
Uh,
funny. Last year, right? And NYCFC lost to Philly 5-1, right? In the Bronx, right? And as the game ended, I saw Nick Cushing and I stopped him. I said, Nick, your team needs this. They needed this loss like this. You needed to get smacked like this. And he's like, yeah, yeah, I know. The next week, they score like a 90-second winner against Miami to draw against Miami, and then go to Red Bull and beat the shit out of the Red Bull. Nick Cushion sees me in the hallway and he's like, this man right here, no sport. In front of everybody, he's like, this man here, no sport. He's like, I didn't understand when you were telling me 5-1 that my team needed it, but we needed it, right? And then he got up in the press conference and he says it again, but then he said something that for me, it always sticks out. I would rather lose to a team one time, 7-0, than lose 7 times, 1-0.
of
Mm-hmm.
course.
And that's a fucking home run. That team will never lose again 7-0.
Yeah.
Most of those guys separate in their careers will never lose again 7-0 because they remember what the fuck this bullshit was to this dead team.
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, the thing is that LA is really bad. So, I listen. I think we can say that. Do you feel like we got our revenge from the MLS Cup final?
I mean, yeah, but that's all we could have done. I mean, how revenge would be actually going back to the final and beating them. That's the real revenge. This is just a nice feel good moment, heartfelt moment, I'd say, in our season to be like, yeah, smack these guys who beat us in the MLS Cup final. Although I'd rather beat, City again 7-0. I'll take this. It's a great storyline. It writes itself. We got a history with that 7 goals. So, we scoring a touchdown, but we did it at home this time. It's our biggest win in the franchise's history. I mean, let me just put that out there too, which is surprising. We've been around since 96, but yeah, 7-0, biggest win at Sports Illustrated Stadium, Red Bull Arena. So monumental day for the franchise, but we can't think about it for too long because we got a game Wednesday.
Yeah, whoever made up the schedule is a fucking jerk off because the truth of the matter is, how the fuck do you have rivalry week, right? Especially, I mean, they didn't know they were going to win 7-0. You just won against the team that beat you in the final, and now the next week you have the team that you beat to go to the final. I mean, to the semifinal, right?
Mm-hmm.
In NYCFC, first time ever last year, right? And you're gonna break it up with a dead game in the middle of the week. What are you doing? Whoever made the schedule, what
Don
are you
Garber,
doing?
Don Garber, call him out, man. Call Don Garber
Yo,
and
if I
his.
see the Don in Montclair, I'm Don. What are you doing?
Yeah,
You
and
just
teams are
broke
going
up
to
the
have
whole.
to be forced to rotate. They have no option. I mean, how you can't
Yes,
play you can't play 3 games in 9 days. I
That's
mean,
crazy.
especially with these guys at this age. I mean, for both sides. I mean, we got Emil, he's 33, Chupo's 36, so it's going to be interesting. I don't want to go into that next game yet. We can do predictions at the
Wait,
end.
so are we gonna have like a special episode maybe Thursday, Friday? We might have to talk Derby because
I
we don't
know.
have enough time to talk Derby.
No, no, and the whole plan is shout out to the City Boys, but bring them on. But with this schedule, that's exciting. Don Garber, you're hurting me. You're hurting the exchange. You're hurting TMV. We can't do episodes.
Yeah, we got to
You're messing us up.
yeah, we need proper time to put out some good content, you know what I mean?
That's the main reason. I don't care if our 36-year-olds are tired. We can do episodes. That's the problem. But no, honestly, I just feel like yeah, sometimes you gotta lead up to these big games. And then yeah, coming back after what happened in Queens last year, Yeah, you probably need a little bit of time to talk about all those things. So we'll leave that for a future episode. Maybe we can touch on it a little bit in the end.
I
But
think you got to set up the whole conversation after this, send the message to whoever, because I think we need to hop on again on Thursday or Friday.
we
Oh,
will, we will,
dude,
we will,
it's
we
the
will.
first derby. We'd be dumb
Yeah.
not to.
Yeah. We got to give
No, we
I think we got to give people more of what they want, and I think something like that is exactly that. I mean, even to
It's the
the
biggest
lengths
one.
even to the lengths of having a live stream while we all watch it and watch the game with the fans alike. We can have a live chat going. It could be a whole thing. You know what I mean? We can make it very interesting. That's what I always wanted to do. It's big for New York, New Jersey area, and I only want to make it, bigger. So this game matters to us, and I want it to matter to everybody else, and show everybody what we could do.
Yep, yep. Friendly reminder too. The game is not at 7:30, right? It's at
Four,
4:30.
four
Four,
4:30.
four
4.
thirty,
4:30.
four
I thought it was
thirty.
4.
It says 4:30 now.
Okay, so it's
Okay.
4:30 in Queens City Field. A lot of good moments last year there. Good and bad because we lost the first game, and in the playoffs,
Dude,
we got a revenge.
Red Bull lost to them twice last year, but when they counted, they came back. I asked Nick Cushing that at the end, like, it's so hard to beat a team 3 times in any sport. Like, what makes this difference now? Like, you kind of knew going into it that, like, dude, playing a team 3 times is fucking tough, man. Like, I don't know how Real Madrid hasn't sorted out Barcelona yet. You've seen these motherfuckers like the past three
Lose all
weeks.
this.
How you not get them figured out yet? You've seen them for 3 weeks. You've
Yeah.
Yeah,
seen them
that's
for
a good
three
point.
weeks. How have you not figured them out yet? How have you not won 1 out of 4, 1 out of 3? How the fuck does that happen to you?
Oh, they got
Yeah,
Lamine Yamal over there at Barcelona. I mean, what a game
bro.
that was too. Real Madrid, Barcelona, 4-3 in El Clasico. Goal scoring back and forth. I mean, that kid's a stud. I even watching him against Inter Milan in that semifinal of Champions League. I was like, holy shit. And this kid's what? He's 17, 18 years old.
Yeah,
He's
it's
taking these
wild.
games by the scruff of the neck.
But
So
this
what
is
do
our
we
classical. This is our classical. This is our
what
classical. Let's
yeah, this is
go.
our classical. So we obviously have to wait 1 game, correct? So we have to
Yes.
tomorrow they get back to the nitty-gritty. Um and then we get a little bit of a break, and then we're back on, baby, because it's
Uh,
Derby Day.
yeah, so that's what I was gonna ask you. So heading into Nashville, you're Sandro Shores, right? We haven't won on the road in league play. We got our first win on the road against Colorado Switchbacks in US Open Cup. Um, but you know that if you have to choose between those two games, the most important one is on Saturday. I mean, yeah, every game is important, but for me, for the fans, for everything that can happen, the showdown, it's on Saturday. So tomorrow, I want to see all the scrubs on the field. I want to see
No, you got to
we
keep the momentum going. At
Yeah,
least
this
put
is
those guys on for 60.
this is
scrubs.
a
I'm
good
joking, by the
this
way.
is
I
a
love my
great
team.
talking point. What do you do heading into this Nashville game off of a big win? Lots of energy coming from that win, off of 7-0. Do you keep it going, or do
You
you
gotta,
rotate some
you gotta.
players? I'd like to think that he keeps the same starting lineup majority in there and see how the game goes. Maybe at halftime, if it's 2-0 Nashville or something like that, then he might. But if it's 0-0, he might keep those guys on, which I'm worried because we're not in it to win an away game and then come right back and beat City. I just don't think this Red Bull team has it in them to do that yet. We have yet to get an away like win. And BJ Callahan and Nashville have been playing a lot better. We just
Yes.
saw them. We saw them back in March, season opener for Sports Illustrated Stadium. We beat them 2-0 pretty comfortably at home. But I think this is a different game. I see us dropping this one actually midweek.
But how bad would it be for in the mental side to lose an away game? We haven't won in league play on away games, and then we're going to City. So I do get Jorge. Like this is a roller coaster. This show is
It
a
is.
freaking roller coaster. But you don't want to play bad, but you don't want to tire your players out because guess what? After the Derby, I think we have the Open Cup game following after the Derby. Yeah, we're playing on Wednesday. So, and I want to win that cup too. So you're gonna have to rest players regardless. Uh, do we rest them on the Derby? I don't think so. Do we
Uh,
rest them tomorrow? Probably
no,
so.
no. I think you bring them on for 60 minutes tomorrow. You bring them on 60 minutes. You have a travel, light day Thursday, get back to work Friday. It's the Derby. You fucking leave it all out there. You come out there with every fucking thing you got. That's
Love
it.
it.
That's
Love
it.
it.
I don't even know why it's a fucking question.
Yeah, well, it's a good question to ask Sandro because Sandro might have a different perception than what we're thinking. It's still early in the season. Yeah, that Derby game's big. It's big for us fans, so I hope he understands that. And we'd rather rotate this game to save some legs for that game, especially going to Queens and playing on that small field in the baseball stadium, which one day will come to an end. You know, we all know. So let's keep getting those jokes in while we can these last few years.
Yeah, Jorge's ready to sing Take Me Out to the Bowl Game. Come on,
Yeah,
Jorge.
man.
Guys.
1, 2, 3
Right.
strikes, you're out at
And
the
they
old
all
ball
game.
Looks like
game.
I mean New York City FC are gonna have to get Juan Soto and a few other guys out there too if they want
Look,
to beat us.
I'm excited for this derby because depending on what happens tomorrow, there's one team that desperately needs a win and a morale booster, and there's a team that could be peaking after fucking scoring like crazy and getting a W midweek and then going into the derby. You could have two different teams coming, one team that really needs it and one team that's peaking, and they're meeting at the perfect time on a fucking Saturday in Queens at 4:30, and it's going down, dude. I am so far. I wish there wasn't a game tomorrow. I am looking forward to the Derby.
Yes, same here, same here. I think there's a lot of expectations. A lot of people are looking forward to it. I know that NYCFC fans. I was speaking to Ronnie from Soccer View, and man, he does not want to play us in the Derby on Saturday. He doesn't have so much faith in his team now, but derbies are a different ball game. They are played with more passion, more intensity, and I think you see, even Sean Nealis. You saw how he was fighting against the LA guys. Can't wait to see him fighting Wolf again. I want Omar Valencia, take out a knife in the middle of the fucking game and just start stabbing. Oh, we're gonna get canceled over here.
Yeah.
No, but it's gonna be
Listen,
exciting.
he's gonna throw Wiki Carmona out there again, you know it. I mean,
No, he'll use Vicky.
listen, he had a good game last game.
Finally.
Finally, we can say Wiki. We broke the Wiki whack trend, but three straight starts in 7 days for Wiki. He's probably going to start again midweek. I don't see why not. I don't know what's going on there, but Wiki Carmona is Sandro's guy until Cam Harper can give us 60 minutes and until Lewis Morgan gets back. I guess there is no other option. He doesn't want to switch Dennis over to the left or anything, or to the right. I'm sorry. Get my lefts and rights mixed up, but I mean, I could go as far as to say this entire league is a roller coaster because that's what it is, man. MLS is full of parity. Derbies, you never know what you're getting. City could come out and smoke us 4-0 because they remembered how we beat them last year and we took over their little Queens stadium.
Yeah. I mean, anything could happen. But just to go back on the wiki side, yes, gotta give him his flowers for this game because he helped create the free kick where Emil Forsberg scored. I think he's a workhorse. He gave up some good through balls to good passes. The only thing that's always missing is the quality to do in the finishing end. It's not there,
I agree.
and the difference is that Cameron Harper could offer a little bit more. That's what we would rather have him in there. But it's a game. If we have Chupo and Emil connecting well, scoring goals, getting people involved, then it doesn't hurt so much to have Wiki on. But yeah, I mean, listen, time's running, like you said, Steve, on the last episode. If you're not scoring goals and all you do is run and not offer anything else, somebody else might do it better. And that's where you're gonna, I
Yeah, I
guess,
mean,
regret your
freaking
chance.
it's good to see Chupo again. We kind of called him out too a little bit. to see him scoring again. I mean, the guy looks like freaking Wesley Snipes from Blade over here in some of his posts. I mean, he's just a fucking killer. He won't come and talk to us though, which I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with that. You know, I don't know if he's scared of the press. He doesn't like the press, or I mean, it's just a few guys asking the questions. We're pro player media. We're a pro team media. We're
So
not
when we talk
gonna,
about Wiki,
until you put in a few bad performances,
No,
we
because
might
even
call you
that's
out.
true. It's not like we're talking shit. We're talking true. So it's
yeah,
not like we're like bad mouthing or we're saying false stuff. We're saying like, dude, you know you're trash. Just watch the fucking video again, and you can see that you're trash, right? I was
Exactly.
I was talking to a player recently, and I'm like, sounded like you said. I'm like, listen, I'm on the other side of media. I'm not trying to break news. I'm not trying to make you guys look bad. That's why when you come out, you already know you suck. You just lost 3-0. Why am I going to ask you, oh, what do you think about the game? I'm going to ask you about something else because you just got your balls broken, and everybody else here is going to break your balls, except for me and Mo. We're going to ask you something else because we all know you guys suck tonight. So, like, you know what I mean?
agreed,
Come
agreed.
on, man. We're not here to
Yeah,
break your balls. Just come out and talk to us.
Exactly. Chupo, come say what's up, my guy. Come on. Don't be
Come
afraid.
on.
We don't
exchange
fight.
exchange shirts with Marco Royce at the end of the game.
Yeah, we
Exchange
posted
posted
that.
it. Exchange posted it. Very nice. Yeah, and I think yeah, man, he's just connecting more with the people. I think even the first goal, he went and did this. Maybe that was for the MLS analyst that would call him out that he wasn't performing. I guess that's what we want to see because even in that first goal, he created that his own space. He created the shot. So um, props to him, man. And we need that Chupo, the Bayern Chupo, the PSG Chupo, because if
Yeah.
he's on, man, we can score some goals.
And I'm sorry to bring up last year, but one little snippet. I'm just thinking of like if we had someone like him last year, I feel like
Ooh,
we
yeah.
maybe would have won that final. But hey, I leave it there. The stadium was rocking. It said 23K. It was probably around 18, 19K, but still, Troop Ball was like, I want to hear you guys. And the crowd was like giving it right back. We were loud. We had a lot of good chants going. I mean, even we chanted, we wanted 7, chanted fuck LA. It was great, man. I shout out to the South Ward. You know what I mean? I know there's some derogatory stuff, but everyone keeps it, pretty mellow down. We don't play with none of that other homophobic or any of that other shit. So we keep it a buck over here. Jersey, New York, you come to this side, you're gonna get smoked. So
Yeah, and then again, we're winning at home. We are winning at home. Only one loss in the season at home. That was against DC. So good to see our home record stay um, right, and at a top at a high level. With
Just
that being
that one was sucking terrible.
the DC one, yeah, the DC
Yeah.
one, yeah. I mean, Troy had our number, so
If
yeah.
they don't win any other game this year, that's the one you had to win.
yeah. Yep. And you called that one perfectly,
I
Jorge.
did.
You
I
said
did.
Troy, you know what I mean? We really saw that one coming. We can say at least for the first time in a little while. This game, yes, maybe we thought Red Bulls would win, but not 7-0. So
Yeah, no, not at all. But congrats to Sandro. Keep it going. We'll be excited to talk about NYCFC on Thursday or Friday, maybe. We'll try to get coordinated. Um, but yeah, oh, Steve, we don't get enough minutes whenever you're showing us your kid. So please show us the kid of the week, my friend.
all right, kid of the week, and then we'll do a quick prediction midweek. And I don't want to do a Derby
No,
prediction yet, but we'll do a Nashville
Yeah,
prediction.
Nashville, Nashville.
But yeah, guys, I actually just got a couple new things in. So I'll give you a quick sneak peek. These are going to be at the Memorial Day sale, which I'm doing in South Jersey, and at the pop up at Veritage. So, one second,
Exclusive. This is only fan content.
you got a fucking Barbie over there in the corner.
I got a little Neymar Brazil, all
Ooh.
right, and a TT Henri. This is from 2012.
That's fire.
Yeah,
All right.
that's a great one.
So you're gonna find shirts just like this at the pop up. I'm gonna have much, much more too on the way. Jackets, like this. zip ups, sweatshirts. It's what I'm all about, my guys.
Underwears.
If we
Hey, no, and you know what? We said no Messi shirts, but unfortunately, even though
Ooh,
Messi wasn't playing, we saw a Messi shirt.
we
I think
saw,
it's inevitable.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
he's
Dude, you sent
around.
me that picture and I'm like, bro, this is a problem.
Nah,
It's
and
an
then
American soccer problem.
I saw Inter Miami shirts too, like for no reason. Um, but yeah, man. I mean, at least they coming out to the stadium. That's essentially what we want.
They
But
got a discounted ticket.
yeah, yeah. Listen, at the end of the day, we want to see the stadium like what we saw on last Saturday, man. I think that helps everybody. That gets people excited. That gets the players excited, man.
The
They're
players
getting ready to
know. The
perform. The
players
players
notice.
know. They
The players
notice.
notice, and it's an energy that drives from inside that bowl and the enclosure onto that field. It's noticeably different when you have that couple extra thousand people in there.
Facts. 100%, man. All right. So your predictions for tomorrow's game against Nashville.
Or hey,
I want to say 3-1 Red Bull.
Oh my God.
wow, jumping out, that would be 14 goals in a couple games there. That would be amazing. Uh, there's got to be a slight dip here. A slight dip, but not terrible. I'm saying a 2-2 draw.
Mm.
Ooh, I was gonna say 1-1. I was gonna be because
Oof.
we draw a lot against Nashville, don't we? We always
Yeah.
on the road or at home.
And shout out Mark Fishkin. I'll give him credit for this, but I did see the stat. Nashville have never beaten the Red Bull. If they were going to beat the Red Bull, it would probably be this game. They got us on a short week. We're not playing at home. We're missing still Lewis Morgan. So Nashville's playing well, in good form. They got Huni Mukhtar up top. He could be threatening. So I'm still thinking we can scrap out of there with a draw.
I'm
Yeah,
going with 3-1.
Jorge's like 3-1 now. I won 3-1, and then for the Derby, quick prediction for the Derby, my friend.
No.
Nah, he's saving it. He wants to record.
Yeah, no, we can't. We got to link up with the guys across the Hudson there and see what we can cook up and for the people and give us a proper Derby show. I think it deserves its own little segment because this is where the home is right here.
That's it.
100%, man. I love that. All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening. Close us off, Jorge and Steve.
At the exchange, Southward, thanks for having me. TMV, Fire Gear, another great night.
Yeah, boys and girls, thank you. If you went out to the arena, I hope you guys had a great night. I had a good time. Let's keep the good vibes going. Let's keep the momentum going. And I just want everybody to come out on May 31st. I know it's a few weeks away, but Memorial Day, but May 31st from 12 to 7 again. Veritage Brew Works. I'll be there. Pop up in the flesh. All right, let's go.
TMV exchange
DNV.
shot word. Let's go.